Hello there. I'm standing here in my kitchen. I just want to give you a quick kitchen tip on cooking. And probably the easiest way I can illustrate this is really talk about sort of a morning routine because, I cook breakfast a lot and I really use this one a lot when I'm doing breakfast. And that is that you need to be familiar with the amount of time it takes you to cook the different uh, dishes in your meal. So when you read that recipe, it'll say cook time, uh, you know, prep time. As you read the recipe, you need to understand how long it takes to cook things. I'll just talk through as an example. I'll talk through the way that I cook breakfast in the morning. Um, and the reason you want to do this is you want the food to come out to be hot and ready to eat all at the same time. You don't want to have one item that's been cooked and it's sitting there and it's cooling down while you're still cooking the other items. So, you may actually start them at different times. First, you probably need to do your mise en place for all items. So, you gather up your ingredients for, each individual item, and then you start your cooking process. So just to talk through and give you by example what I'm talking about when I'm making breakfast. Okay, say I'm making a bacon, eggs, some fruit, and toast. So I'm gonna fry some eggs, cook some bacon, cook some toast, and we're gonna have fruit. That's sort of a typical breakfast. I might have chocolate milk that I need to mix up. So what I would do, the way I would approach that is, I think I've got a playlist item where I recommended George Foreman grill, indoor grill. I'm going to start that George Foreman grill first. That's the first thing I'm going to do is plug that guy in, get him warm, and I'm going to start the meat because the meat is going to take longer to cook than anything else. So I'm going to put the bacon on the George Foreman. I'll let it cook for a little while and then I'll flip it over. And after I flip it over, it's starting to get, pretty close to ready. It doesn't take all that long for eggs and bacon to cook. So I've got the meat, and the meat might have been cooking for 4, 5, 6, 8 minutes before I've done anything else. During that time, after I've got the meat, that's when I might prepare my fruit, like a chopped apple or, peel a banana, peel an orange, wash and cut some strawberries, that kind of stuff while the meat's cooking. And then after you flip the meat, and you're, a couple of minutes ready, it's now time to get ready to cook your eggs. And so what I will generally do is go ahead and take my toast, put it in the toaster. Not, I don't put it down yet, just set the bread in the toaster, and then I heat up my pan for my eggs, put my butter in it, and when I crack my egg in the pan, I go over here and I push the button to mash my toaster down. So now my toast is cooking while my eggs are cooking and my meat's finishing. I'll salt and pepper the egg, flip the egg, and get him ready. That's when I turn it off. I'll do a video about cooking a fried egg later. But uh, while my eggs are finishing, I come over here and I plate up the meat. The toast is probably about ready to come up. The toast pops up. I put a little bit of butter on the toast and set it on there. Put the eggs straight on the plate. Now I've got meat and that came off the heat, toast that came out of the toaster, and eggs that came out of the skillet all about the same time. Add a little bit of that fruit to it, and there's your breakfast. Then generally I'll set the plate down, and that's when I go and put my chocolate in my milk or pour my milk, that kind of thing. But anyway, the point is that you need to understand how long your food cooks so that when you're making a organized meal out of many dishes, you're finishing those dishes at about the same time. If you can't do that, then you need a warming drawer, or maybe a lot of older people might have kept their food warm in the oven. Turn the oven on low and put it in the oven to keep it warm, like pancakes and those kind of things. But anyway, cooking your food so that it all comes out warm and all at the same time. That's what works for me mostly.